Today, we are glad to be here in this one of the most beautiful campuses of the country with a private beach of its own. And having studied from another NIT myself, it is also time for me to revisit my college days.
Hi, good evening everyone. Coming from a desert state to a sea-facing city, and that too in a city of neer dosas and I think holy bhajis. I think it's a good place that we've landed into, and looking forward to a good, encouraging discussion with all of you.
And we'll be talking about 50 Shades of Marketing. This is a picture we clicked a few months back on a hot summer Delhi afternoon. This was a delivery guy, perhaps rushing between deliveries, trying to snatch few moments of relaxation perhaps through an unsafe practice. This was around the same time when many companies came up with the promise of under 10 minutes delivery of grocery and food items. This picture got us thinking. As consumers, are we on the right path? And this led to us writing an article in which we coined the term Hyper-lapse Consumerism, which will come to it later.
Friends, marketing has always been synonymous with civilization. Behind me is a picture. It's a cave art, 40,000 years ago from Europe. What does it show? It shows, and archaeologists reasoned, that humans have always been able to use signs and symbols to represent their world, to represent themselves, or can we say to market themselves? Over 1 million of years ago, when Earth evolved, a lot of species coexisted. However, Homo sapiens were the species that developed faster. Why so? And I hope all of us know that, we're Homo sapiens, we evolved from Homo sapiens. So why so? Yes? Good. Because they could communicate, because they had good mental abilities, innovation, planning for the future. And I think these were the characteristics which differentiated Homo sapiens from the hominids. So what I'm trying to say here is there a correlation between the mental ability of the Homo sapiens and the present form of marketing? Marketing is understood. Maybe it evolved with the Industrial Revolution or the consumer economy of the 18th and the 19th century. But as we read while we were researching about our article, we realized that maybe that's not the reality. Maybe as humans, when they were nomadic wanderers and they moved towards and transitioned towards more settled societies, maybe that was the time when marketing evolved. When barter system evolved, when selling evolved. I have this picture. Anybody can guess? If somebody can tell me what is this picture showcase? Okay, I'm the only history person here then. Okay, so it's a cuneiform clay tablet from an ancient city of Ur in Mesopotamia from 1750 century BC. And this picture showcases marketing. Imagine that old marketing was. Another picture, it's from the Roman Empire, 79 AD, from Pompeii city. Again, what does it showcase? It showcases marketing. Through these pictures, what I'm trying to say is that there are several examples which can actually prove that marketing has been synonymous with civilizations. In countries like Egypt and Greece, you won't believe me, but when I read, I was shocked by myself that people actually sold their product by painting on huge, massive boulders and where there was crowd. That's how they marketed their products. And even the emperors, the rulers, huge empires who have built civilizations in which we've lived, even they were not away from marketing. We must have seen a lot of monuments, rock inscriptions, pillar inscriptions, and all of these maybe can be seen as archaeological sources which maybe can tell us about our history, about our civilization, or about our past. But we realize that these were one of the finest examples where the rulers marketed about their empires. They not only showed their military strength to their enemies, but they marketed about themselves. Another picture, it's anybody? Where is it from? Oh, brilliant. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, it is from Vaisali, Bihar, and it's a pillar commemorating the Emperor Ashoka. So, I mean, that's what the point that I'm making, that marketing has been synonymous with civilizations. It is not a new age concept.
Marketing is synonymous with civilizations, as Divya said. Marketing is universal, and marketing is also good. Marketing has made billionaires. Marketing has got presidents elected to office. Marketing has fueled revolutions and spread new ideas. Marketing is perhaps one of the most powerful agents of change available to humans. Marketing ensures that more products and useful products and services reach more people, ease more lives, and solve more problems. Marketing can also be a tool for behavior change to drive social development. Marketing can nudge you to vote, it can stop you from littering, and it can also drive you to the nearest gym to try and shed a few inches. And marketing can also make smoking a symbol of women empowerment. I am talking about the Torches of Freedom campaign of 1929, in which few women were hired to smoke during the Easter Day parade, and that image became a symbol of breaking social barriers, of women emancipation. It aided the then feminist movement, and at the same time, it also increased the sale of harmful cigarettes, all at the same time. And when we talk about marketing, we often tend to think that marketing is about corporate giants pushing us products, services, and ad campaigns and whatnot. What we often tend to forget or we tend to miss is that consumers are central to marketing. And if we say that consumer is the real CMO, consumer is the real chief marketing officer, perhaps it will not be an overstatement to make. I am a consumer myself, we all are consumers. And let me narrate you an incident which happened a few days back. In fact, one of my friends who runs a delivery kitchen of his own, he came over to my place and we decided to order food. There were more friends joining in. And as you know, these situations can be really messy when many friends are there trying to decide what to order, what to eat and what not to eat. You know how messy these situations can be. So this friend of mine who runs a kitchen, he kind of wanted to utilize this opportunity also to understand consumer behavior. And he asked me to explain him what goes on inside my mind when I am ordering food on one of the apps. I realized that I order food on the basis of the quality of pictures posted by these restaurants, the pricing. A too low a price, maybe again a red flag, it might be an indicator of poor quality. Too high a price, maybe I am overpaying, I don't know. Whether I like the name of the restaurant or not, whether the dish I want to order is in line with the brand identity of that particular restaurant. And believe me, when I analyzed, none of these factors had anything to do directly with taste. So what's the point? The point is that as human beings, we all are irrational beings. And as consumers, we carry many biases with us. And the question is that are we aware of our biases and are we mindful of our desires?
Desire. A little bit of complex word, I think. in a consumerist society where we have so many options and we just have to choose one product which claims to satisfy our desire. When I say claim, I'm using this word with a lot of caution. As Pratyush said, we all are consumers. We all are chief marketing officers. But are we actually aware? And while we are in this process, we're intermixing these three terms. What do we need? What do I want? What do we desire? Let me take you back again to a little philosophical part of this session. Several philosophers, both Western and Eastern philosophers, have spoken about human behavior, free will, and desire. I'll give you some examples. Epicurus, he was a Greek philosopher. It's a very famous quote. I'll read it for you. It says, "If thou wilt make a man happy, add not unto his riches, but take away from his desires." What does it mean? Simple. Limit your desires and be happy. But I think it's not that easy. Sri Aurobindo, I'm sure all of us have heard about him. And usually in his messages, the main point which he used to make was the conquest of desire and attachment and the control over the body and its needs, greed, and instincts are indispensable. Stoic philosophy. Desire can be avoided, a distraction, interfering in living a good life. So what I'm trying to say here is that these philosophers were so aware, so conscious in that part of life where they could see that if humans are not able to control or so to say even understand their desires, where is exactly the human society heading to? Today, all of us sitting in this room, majorly, mostly, we have all the things what we want, but we are wanting more. But perhaps we might not be needing them. So as chief marketing officers, as consumers, the only question that I'm asking you here is that is it time to redefine ourselves? Is it time to redefine our desires? Maybe not control it as the philosopher said, but at least understand them. What is common between volcano water, smartwatches, and electrical vehicles? Anybody? Anything? Any random guess? Okay. Volcano water, why do we buy? We buy because it's bottled, it's safe, it's secure. Smartwatches, maybe because I want to look fit, or at least I want to show all of you that I am fit by wearing a smartwatch. Electrical vehicles, maybe because I might want to look like I'm environmentally conscious enough. So while we are talking about all these things, I think it is actually the time and understand that we redefine our desires.
And taking forward what Divya said, we buy stuff, we don't actually buy stuff, but we buy story. And we buy stuff not only because of the offerings they make, but also because how they make us feel about ourselves. And talking about desire, modern day consumerism is not only about desiring things, but also desiring that they reach to us fast. The rise of internet economy, the rise of e-commerce, smartphone penetration, they have all made it possible for us to order stuff at the swipe of our fingers and to get them really fast. This is what we talked about in our article, and we coined the term Hyper-lapse Consumerism, calling it the age of Hyper-lapse Consumerism. Hyper-lapse Consumerism is not without its benefits, of course. It can generate more jobs, it can generate more revenues, it can raise the living standard of gig workers. However, it can also have its own pitfalls. Tough working conditions, the tendency or the possibility to drive unsafe, to meet delivery deadlines, other physical and mental health hazards, combined with a lack of comprehensive social coverage, can spell doom for people who are involved in the delivery process.
While we were writing the article, we read more and more, and both of us, and we actually discussed it with a lot of friends of ours also back in Delhi, that isn't it in this pursuit of convenience and consumption, are we stretching ourselves too far? Are we nurturing the right desires? Are we solving the right problems? Of course, technology and advancements have helped us to solve many problems. But friends, let me tell you, only wisdom can tell us which problems are worth solving. When I got COVID and I was infected in all the 3 waves, I couldn't go back home because I was under the fear that I'll infect my parents and my loved ones. So I stayed all alone in Delhi in all the 3 waves. I was sick, I was alone, I was vulnerable. And while all these emotions were in my mind, it gave me time to think back and reflect upon as a consumer. That as a consumer, am I wanting the right needs? Why am I running so much? What are my actual desires?
And talking about consumers and consumers being chief marketing officers, they need not be only passive consumers of marketing, but also active participants in deciding what is right and to what extent. Today, we close our talk by leaving you and leaving ourselves with 3 questions. Are we inflicting pleasure on ourselves?
Are we nurturing the right desires?
Are we being responsible, conscious consumers?
Trust me, even we both and all our friends are still figuring a way out and figuring the answers to it. And we would love to hear your feedback and we would love to discuss once the session ends. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much.